Happy Thursday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Coffee and Conversation with Shakenya, and hit subscribe. Look at some of the videos. And if you see any of them that you like, I appreciate it if you hit share. I'm trying to be famous, so it'll help. Now, after you do that, then I want you to get a copy of my book, Dysfunctional Family Knot. You can get it from lulupublishing.com. You can get it from Amazon. And you can get it from Urban City Publishing. I know, I'm trying to get it on some more platforms this year. I want to do an audio book. I think I'm going to say it. I'm going to use my voice. Yeah, I wanted other people to do it, but I think I'm going to use my own voice. So yeah, guys, I'm trying to hurry up. So I'm all over the place today. Yep. Good morning, TikTok. Yep, I ain't been on TikTok live in a minute, so this is going to be interesting, right? So, guys, I ran out of space. I got to get a new book. So, that's why I'm going to be all over the place, right? So, we're going to start here, though. Let's travel to What If Land. I don't go there too often. Because it's not a real place, right? So, I can't go there too often, right? Because that's not my reality. That's not what's really going on. It's just a figment of my imagination at this point. But because it used to be my reality, it's vivid, right? So we're going to travel back to the land of what if just for a minute. We're going to focus on the manipulation tips because I know we just broke down your final. The manipulation tips was on there. The Seeds of Co-Parenting was on there. The Co-Parenting Workshop was on there. What else was on there? I think all the classes was on there, right? So we broke it down, but I do want to use it just to go in the land of what if, right? Like, what if Dad wasn't using none of those manipulation tips? Because I know you would like to think that the baby is gone because of me. Yep, I know you would like to think that maybe it's me, maybe I was using drugs, maybe she was being abused, maybe she was being neglected. I know, that's the first thought that's going to come to mind for Dad being the sole provider. He's the only one. Or I'm deceased, right? Either way it goes, she doesn't have a mama, right? But that is so far from the truth. Because, see, reality is she does. She has a mother that loves and cares for her. She has a mother that misses her so. She has a mother that took very, very good care of her, right? So much so to where when she did leave me at 15 and a half, 6, 7 years later, she's doing everything that I raised her to do. Everything that I talk about in the book is how she is today. Only thing is, I'm not in her life, right? So, fix it. Jesus, fix it. So yeah, I know that's what you want to believe, that I've done something, right? Yeah, that's not supposed to be. If I knew how them people really felt about me, let me tell you. Yeah, if I would have known what I know now, right after the breakup, it would have been nothing but supervised visits. Yeah, nothing but supervised visits. Yeah, so after knowing, if I would have known how they really felt about me, they probably wouldn't have synced her at all. Oh, yeah. I would have put her in therapy. I would have did whatever needed to be done. But, yeah, they wouldn't have had no contact if I would have known the evil that they possess, right? Fix it. Jesus, fix it. But, yeah, Yeah, can you imagine your child? Mom, can you imagine your daughter? Your youngest. Because you know what that means for us. That last baby. Ain't no more coming through, right? You put all in that little baby because that's it. Right? Yeah, I mean, can you imagine, Mom, your baby going to stay with her dad and not having no contact with you, and you have never abused or neglected her? You ain't did nothing but love her? That baby ain't had no reason, right? Fix it, Jesus. Can you imagine, Mom? So if you having issues with your children and you ain't never did nothing to them, ain't never abused, somebody might be talking about you to your baby. I know you hate to think about it. You don't want to think about your relatives. You don't want to think about your baby mama, your baby daddy. But if your baby is treating you in such a way, and your baby don't like you and hate you, and you ain't did nothing to this baby for this baby not to, somebody might be poisoning your baby against you. Yep, I hate to say that, right? Jesus. Yeah. Like, I know children grow, and when they get grown, they're going to do what they're going to do. Because I don't want you to think I'm in a bubble or delusional when I talk to you about how my children would be if that child wasn't taken out. A lot of the stuff that's going on, what if it was going to happen anyway? What if they was going to be who they was going to be anyway? What if my son just all of a sudden don't want to do his restaurant? He don't want to do that no more, right? What if my little brother just didn't want his landscaping company anymore? What if it's just the girls having a store was just far-fetched? All that could be, right? But when I tell you, in 2017, everybody was comfortable in the direction that our lives were going. It seemed like everybody was content in the path that they had chosen. And it seemed like everybody was genuinely happy. Because you got to think about it. We weren't suffering from any addictions. We didn't have any mental illness going on that anybody was struggling with. No police contact. We building a business. This cleaning company is a family business. We building it from the ground up. Like, I mean, fix it, Jesus. Yeah, 2017, we were good, right? So for everything to be so different now, right? So yeah, I know children change their minds. Yep, I know that they have different opinions from mine, even though I raised them in my likeness. Yeah, them getting older and becoming adults, making their own decisions. Trust me, I'm very aware of that, right? But just know, before the baby left, decisions that they were making were all in line and in tune. Everybody's morals and values were lined up, so it wasn't too much different from nothing. Since the baby been gone, these last 6 years, things have been so different. Right, that's all I'm gonna say. It's so different, right? But yeah, everybody was content then. Cause see, when I gotta go back, when I think about when things changed and when it took a shift, when I can date back to what happened and what was going on, it goes back 6 years. And the only thing that the children were experiencing that was tragic or had experienced was the baby leaving and not never saying nothing else to us. Oh, it was devastating. Oh, it was so traumatic. Oh, that was the first thing they ever had dealt with. Yeah. So you got to think about how that affected them. That's why I say, why didn't nobody give a fuck about me and my kids? Like, why were we discarded and just thrown away like trash, right? Fix it, Jesus, fix it. Yeah, because before that, everybody was on the same path. Everybody was on plan A. I'll let you in on the secret. Dad was on plan A. Oh yeah, it took a minute to bring him around, but once I did that first basketball tournament, yeah, he was in plan A. Yeah. So just imagine how he felt after the divorce, not being a part of none of that. Oh yeah, because if we would have continued, if my parents wasn't interrupted and we was able to continue moving as a family how we were, oh yeah, 2026, we would definitely be millionaires right now. Oh yeah, easy. Easy. Think about where we were in 2017 and just imagine if we was to continue. That's what I don't understand. Yeah, everybody was so content with that. Everybody seen that big picture and they seemed like they were okay with that big picture, even the baby, right? Fix it, Jesus. Yeah. So for everybody to go on their own path now, everybody on solo missions, everybody doing their own thing, yeah, that's not a bad thing, but it's different for us. Because we used to moving as a team, as a unit, together, holding hands, right? Nobody dealt with anything alone, right? So to feel like that's the thing to do now, yeah, when I date back to when that mindset changed, it was 6 years ago when the baby left. Everything date back 6 years ago. So yeah, it could be just a coincidence because the baby just left and said, fuck us. Yeah, it could be. And it probably didn't affect nobody that she just left us, right? And doing everything that we were doing, right? No, maybe not. But when I do me, because I'm a program director in a youth program and I deal with children with behavior issues, and when I use that tactic in my program, it always hits it on the nail why the child is broken. What happened to that baby, right? Oh, 3 years ago. What happened 3 years ago? Such and such died. Oh, that baby might need some grief counseling. Yeah, they might be going through it because of the loss of this. Oh, it don't take a rocket science, but sometimes it do, right? Because sometimes you can't see the obvious, even if it's in your face, right? This baby just started acting out, and what just happened? Big my past. Oh my God, that's what it is, right? But yeah, it just helps. I get paid to bring it out. That's all. I don't have a problem with that, right? Oh, it happened 2 years ago. What happened 2 years ago? Me and the dad divorced. That's what it is. So now we got to get you and daddy together so we can figure out what we got to do to bring some normalcy to this new relationship that y'all have now, because y'all no longer together. Now the baby going to 2 separate households. The baby's confused. Y'all doing 2 different things. And yeah, we just got to sit down and talk. That's all, right? But that's the issue. That's what broke the baby, right? A lot of kids feel like it'd be their fault that y'all breaking up. Oh yeah, every child that has come through my Attitude Adjustment Youth Program has told me that they wish their mama and daddy was still together. Yeah. So they hate to see y'all fight, because you make them feel like they gotta pick sides, right? And that's also a manipulation too. Fix it, Jesus. Yeah, they're not alone. We was a team, so that's not normal for us. Yeah, because we had each other's back. We held each other down. We were never alone. Yeah, so when I go back and see what things took a drastic turn, it was when the baby was leaving. Like, if this was a real case, because remember I wrote this down like it was a crime, mine would be a crime of passion. And it would be a situation where I was probably 100 times up close. I'm not making light or a joke. Forgive me for laughing for that. I'm laughing because it's a symbol of how this man felt about me. For him to turn that baby against me and pull her. Yeah, that would be what it would have been. Because you got to think about it. I was dealing with an emotional man that's gone. Right? So this is the flip side of that. Yeah. I know. That's scary. That's scary. But that's how some of these men like that, because they ain't had no daddy. Right? So they was raised by their mama. So they take on their mama's ways and emotions and fix it. Jesus, fix it. So yeah, it's the same as a woman scorned. Yep, and a woman hurt. It's just elevated and it's calculated when it comes to a man. Yeah, so my baby daddy sat down and planned and plotted and thought about what he needed to do to bring us down as a family, right? So all that jealousy, all that hurt, everything, him not being healed as a man, him being raised by a toxic mama who was never healed. Yeah, all of that is contributed into the reason why my baby not in my life. Come on now. Who gonna take a baby from an environment where she's not being abused, neglected, and she's thriving? Come on now, who does that? Don't nobody do that. And definitely don't nobody take a baby away from the mother, right? Don't nobody do that. When we were working with CPS, when them children were removed, you best believe they had us on the case to find different resources and programs to educate that parent and make sure that that mama was able to get her children back. And then he took her when she was 15 and a half. Everybody knows that's the most critical time for a young lady between the ages of 15 and 21, that she needs her mother the most. Everybody knows that, right? Fix it, Jesus, fix it. So you got to think about what he had to do to destroy that relationship between me and that baby. What he had to say for people to be comfortable with that, right? Fix it, Jesus. Yeah, that baby was loved. She was well cared for, you know. Yeah, so for those who think I'm doing coffee and conversation because I still have feelings for this man and I'm hurt, nope. I healed from him while I was in the relationship. It was that bad. Dealing with him and his mama, I was in a relationship with both of them. Yeah, it was that bad. Yep, I had to heal from him while I was there. So nope, that's not it. Please don't feel that way. Nope, I healed from him, baby. Yeah, I healed from him. I started healing from him when he came into that club with that white woman. Yeah, that's when I knew it was over. I knew it was no chance. And we had just went to therapy. I know, that's when I knew. Yep, it's time. Right? So I started healing from that point. Yeah, it was stressful dealing with him and his mama. Yeah, I don't want a relationship. I just want a relationship with my baby. Yeah, but it's sad I gotta have one with him to have one with her. I told you if I would have gave him some coochie, I would have had my baby. Oochie coochie. Oh yeah, I would have a relationship with my baby. Oh, fix it, Jesus. I'm just the reversal. Because I know you know a baby mama like that. Fix it, Jesus. He rewrote our whole life. He rewrote all our stories by taking that baby out. Yeah, fix it, Jesus. Yeah. You have to know the power that you have as a parent. The control, because they trust you. They look to you for guidance. They look to you for love, support. Like, it's such an important job, right? Let's see. And I ran out of space, so I had to go back in the book. Did I write it in here or did I write it in? I know it's all bad this morning. I wrote it in here. Yeah. So I'm gonna hit y'all with two angles of the what if. Right? I know I've done it in separate videos, but I'm gonna say what if Dad didn't use the manipulation tips? That's one angle. And then what if I did? If I used the same manipulation tips that he did. Let me see. I just want you to get the concept. I'm not going to be able to get through all of them, I'm quite sure. Because he had to use all 30, right? But for me to be the mother of the year and then go no contact with a child and there was no abuse or neglect, yeah, that's not normal. And it doesn't happen. You have to have done something. It has to be a reason for a child to hate you and go no contact. And for a parent to facilitate and make it happen. Because he had to plot and plan and lie and set it up. And yeah, it was an instant disconnect. Children don't just disconnect from their mothers like that. I have been in situations where children were being removed. And when I tell you the mama is damn near passed out, the children are holding on to her arm, her leg, her clothes, her jacket, for us to remove them from the home. It's not that easy to disconnect a mother and a child. It's not, right? So he had to be working overtime every day, all day. Every time he called her on that phone, 8 times a day, all throughout the day, coercing her, talking to her, lying to her, manipulating her every day. That's abuse. You know? Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. Yeah. Because what reason would she have to hate me, right? First of all, I didn't use drugs or alcohol. Yep. And still don't. Right? So that means I'm sober all the time. I know, that's right? Fix it, Jesus. No, that just means that I'm able to put her first. That just means I'm able to put all my children first. Because I don't have nothing influencing me, distracting me. Drugs, alcohol coming first. No, I'm able to put them first. So all my attention was focused on my children. Yeah, you just can't take a child away like that. Yeah, you gotta work at it, right? I'm like Martha Stewart in the hood, right? I'm decorating lockers, I'm decorating rooms, I'm baking cookies. Fix it, Jesus. Yeah. Fix it, Jesus. She was getting chauffeur driven to school every day. And a few of those years I was in a foreign vehicle. Thanks to Lowe's putting me in that first Land Rover, right? And then I upgraded and got the range. And I jumped into the X5. So she getting chauffeur driven like she rich. When I tell you this baby had the best of both worlds, and that man destroyed it.
I bought some yesterday.
Wow. Fix it, Jesus.
It's gonna happen tonight. I'll come see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I wasn't mean, but I was stern as a mother. Yeah. But what's not to love? And why wouldn't she respect me? Oh yeah, she watched me do everything. Yep. Everything. She watched me go to school. She watched me walk across the stage. She watched me write a book. She watched me start a youth program. She saw me on the news eventually. Because she was over their house when I was on the news. Do you know they ain't even put the news on? Yeah, she told me about a week later, oh, congratulations, I seen you on the news. And she said it sarcastically. Yeah, I'm telling you, they set her up like she was my competition or my ops. They put her against me. Ain't that crazy? Because when I tell you she just like me, she everything that I raised her to be. When I seen her at her event a month ago, that was the first time I had seen her in like 6 years. Yeah, she had an event where she was promoting black-owned businesses and artists at this museum in Hamtramck, and my son catered the event. That was the first time he seen her too. I know, ain't that terrible? For her to be exactly where she should be in the book. Because I wrote about it, past, present, and future in the book, right? For her to be exactly where why did we have to be absent for her to be there? So nonetheless, we was there, right? But that's how she was a mini me. Looked just like me, work in the room just like me, on the mic just like me. So if we ain't together, if you ain't with me, you against me, right? Why would he pit her against me, right? Well, he was competing with me. So the children take off of you. They pick up off of you. That's what you teaching. So that's what he was teaching. So by them competing with me and trying to get me out the way, yeah, you put her up against me, right? I know it's horrible because she's going to have to do years of therapy to unpack all of that. Years of therapy, right? Fix it. Jesus, fix it. So we're going to get into some of these manipulation tips. Because, yeah, like I said, she taught me to do everything. The radio show, the youth program, everything. So why wouldn't there be no respect? Right? Fix it. Jesus. So the manipulation tips, I'm going to lump 3 of them for the sake of time. Talking bad about the parent to the child in front of the child, inappropriate relationship and inappropriate conversation. So in order to have those inappropriate conversations, you have to have an inappropriate relationship, right? So therefore, them talking about me, talking bad about me, what if dad didn't do that? What if the only thing that dad talked about was me writing my book, me starting a youth program, me having a radio show that promotes black-owned businesses, me working on houses? What if that's the only thing dad and his mom and them talked about? How do you think she would see me and view me, right? But if they over there talking bad, talking about I shop at the Goodwill, little shit like that, I mean, talking about how I don't do nothing right, everything I do is wrong, why she do that, why she do this, talking bad and talking down about me, them 3 manipulation tips right there that's being used. And why? Why was it necessary, right? Why talk to her to a point where she's 11 telling me that just because my mom, my grandma, and my daddy do what they do for me, that don't mean you neglect your responsibility as a parent when it comes to me? How could she be able to say that and still live at 11? Because somebody talking to her, right? That's inappropriate. Why would anybody want to make her feel a way about me? If it ain't love and if it ain't respect, right? You don't do that. Treat people how you want to be treated. How would you feel if somebody did that to you, tried to poison you against your mama? How do you feel about your mama? Think about your mama. Think about the type of woman she is, everything she's done for you, been there for you. And now think about every time you go over somebody's house, they always got something negative or something bad to say about your mama. You're going to want to fight, right? You're going to be mad, right? So why would you do that? Why would you do it to that child, right? Because I know it was many days over there that she probably wanted to fight, right? When she said something that the grandma said about me, and I said, well, what did you say? Meaning, did you defend me? She said the grandma got mad, so I know y'all using intimidation on this baby, right? I should have stopped her from going over there a long time ago, and that's my fault, right? Because there's no way she should have been scared to defend her mama. And there's no way somebody should have been over there talking to her or talking about me in a way to where she felt like she had to, right? You just don't do that. You don't play games like that when y'all share a baby after the breakup. One more manipulation tip, y'all, and then I gotta go. And what if I did it? What if every conversation, we're gonna stick with this, because I gotta go. What if every conversation that I had with her involved him almost unaliving me twice? What if that's the only thing that I focused on every time? What if I focused on him not making some of the games, him not coming to her presentations? What if that's the only thing I focused on? Yeah, he attended some games, and yeah, he attended some ceremonies. Yes, he's done that. But if I don't focus on that and only focus on what he didn't do, yeah, how do you think that relationship would be? And how do you think she would feel about him, right? Nope, I didn't do that, right? And then I'm going to take it a step further while we on this. Her hollering at him and him allowing it. Now, if I'm over here on this side teaching her how to stay in her place as a woman, stand behind this man, respect the black man, and then you as the father allowing her to raise her voice, that's conflicting with my teachings. So that when I tell y'all got to be on the same page about everything, you got to be on the same page about everything. So now, her being out my life, me knowing that he's allowing her to disrespect him and talk to him any kind of way, now I worry as a mother, because by me not having contact with her, I don't know how she is in relationships. Right? So the last thing that I would want is for any of my daughters to be in men's faces, hollering at them, cussing them out, betting them on. I wish you would put your hands on me. And then when they get clocked out, then they crying and they calling their brothers and their uncles and everybody to come and save the day, just because, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that he allowed her to do that as a man, I wonder, how is she in relationships? How is she with men? Because already I was struggling to make sure that they had a balance between their feminine energy and their masculine energy, right? Because if I'm building houses and I'm teaching them about tools, and then I'm on the flip side with my evening gown and I'm teaching them about their femininity, right? That's a lot. I'm already doing that, right? So by him taking her and taking her all the way over, she probably got more masculine energy than feminine, right? Fix it, Jesus. Whew. Okay, y'all, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. Come back, TikTok, for more. I know they're like, what did I walk into? They was on though, right? I'm trying to end Facebook. I'm sorry. There we go.